Hi, everybody. I just want to jump on here and share with you real quick. Hopefully, I won't keep you too long. Um, it's a new year. Um, and I just want to share with you all some tips and strategies and things that I use to lose some weight. Um, I lost about 30 pounds, but it took me a couple of years, well, about a year to do it. And I just had some strategies and some things that I want to discuss with you, and hopefully these tips will help you also. First of all, I do want to start off by saying before you start any type of weight loss program or anything like that, please consult with your doctor. Get your lab works done, get your blood work done, and make sure that it is safe for you to do so. Okay, I want to start off with my first strategy is you got to be active. And I just can't stress this enough because I'm also guilty of not being active. I have to consciously make myself do it. And I have to think about it every day. And when I say active, I mean, if you can afford it, yes, go ahead and go out and get that gym membership. But if not, you don't have to. You don't need no fancy equipment. You don't need to go to no gym. A lot of times, being active is doing housework. As simple as that. Doing yard work. Simple as that. If you live on a property with a lot of land, going for a walk, go for a hike, hiking trail. I mean, there's lots of things we can do to be active. Anything we do other than sitting on a couch, believe me, it's going to help. Um, and that's really important. Again, you don't need a lot of money to go ahead and get that started, and then try to do it, try to be active throughout the day. And also it's important to exercise at least 30 minutes a day if you can. Now if you haven't done it in a while, I do advise that you start off slow. Maybe if you can only walk 10 minutes, 10 minutes is better than nothing. 10 minutes a day, and then gradually work your way up. And if you can, try to do 60 minutes a day. That's even better. But again, work at your own pace. Another point I want to make is don't eat out. Um, and I did another video, and I'll try to link it after this one. But eating out and the highly processed foods is just not good for us. It's the devil. I can't put it in a better way. The food we have now that's available to us in the U.S. is ultra, ultra, ultra highly processed foods, which is not good for our bodies. And I can't stress that enough. Don't eat it. Um, they put chemicals and things in the food, which make us addictive. And then you just want to eat more and more and more and more, and you're never satiated and you never get full. And so what happens is that we're just eating all these calories, and the calories are empty. And the more we eat, the more we're gonna get bigger and bigger and bigger. And then we wonder, "Well, why I keep gaining weight? I don't eat a lot. All I did was had a couple of candy bars, and I ate at McDonald's today. So I had one hamburger and an order of fries and a Diet Coke. How come I keep gaining weight? That's not a lot of food. It may not sound like a lot, but our highly processed foods are calorie dense and nutrient lacking. So when you eat these types of food, your body just wants more and more and more and more, and you just can't get enough of it. And you're never going to be satisfied, and you're just going to just keep gaining weight. Plain and simple. So if you can, please um, cook at home. Try to prepare your meals as much as you can. Try to prepare them ahead of time, and that way you're getting the nutrients and things that you need 9 times out of 10. Now, with that being said, you have to know what types of foods to eat, and I can probably put out another video about that. But it's the types of foods that you eat. um just because you go to McDonald's and you get the hamburgers, yes, you can make the hamburgers at home, but try to get a better quality meat. Try to get your grass fed organic meats if you can. I know everybody's budget, we can't buy things like that, But that's another video I can get into for the types of foods and things. I mean, and utilize YouTube, folks. That's what I did. There's all types of videos on how to cook and, what types of foods to buy and, nutritious meals to prepare at home. And not only will it help you out, it's going to also help your family. Okay. Moving on to my next point, and it kind of piggybacks off of what I just said in my last point is eat more nutrient dense foods, eat more protein, eat more fiber, try to eat more whole foods. When we eat these types of foods, they are going to stay with us a lot longer and they're a lot more digestive friendly, especially proteins and fiber. When we eat these types of foods, they, again, they're more digestible. They're going to stay with us a lot longer, and we're going to feel fuller longer. And then we're not going to have all those cravings like we do when we eat the McDonald's and no shade to McDonald's, but when we eat the McDonald's and the ultra processed foods and the donuts and and the I want to put no shade at Starbucks, but the sugary coffee drinks and things, at Starbucks. When we eat those kind of things, they're just gonna fill you. They're not gonna fill you up. They're just gonna make you more hungry. So try to eat more protein. Incorporate that into your diet and more fiber. Um, Also, if we can, like I mentioned earlier about the exercise, and especially as you get older, if we can try to do more strength training, try to build up our muscles, because the more muscles we put on, the more our calories our bodies are going to burn. Muscle burns more calories than fat. So the more fat we have on our bodies, the less calories you're going to burn, and it's just going to be harder and harder and harder for you to lose the weight. So, not saying we're going to go out looking like, back in my day it was Arnold Schwarzenegger. So, not saying we need to go out and look like a bodybuilder. Although, I wish I could look like one, but it's not going to happen for me. um I would have to work at it if I tried. But I mean, a lot of women, my point is, a lot of women are afraid they're going to bulk up, and we're not, ladies. We're not built like men. So we do strength training. We're maintaining our muscles. We may build a little bit more muscle, but we're not going to, look like a big, bodybuilder and, you know that type of look. Now, not saying anything's wrong with that type of look. I'm not saying there's anything wrong with a bodybuilder. I love that look personally. I wish I could look like that. But some people, they don't. So different strokes for different folks. But we're not going to look like that by doing strength training. Okay. My next point is, and just to start out, and, I'm kind of hesitant to say this, but we need to count calories. And especially in the beginning, when you're on your beginning journey to weight loss, you have to count calories because you don't realize we don't realize what we're eating. And if unless you keep a diary, or you can get one of these apps they have now for calorie counting. I think like MyFitnessPal, and there's some other ones out there. I think my favorite one is Lose It. And I'm not affiliated with any of these companies. I'm just throwing some out there. You guys can go out there on your app store and try to look for these. But and I didn't realize until I started tracking it and started using the calorie counter, how many calories I was putting in. you know, like, bananas and things like that are good for us, but one banana, I mean, it can be up to 120 calories, although it's good calories. Don't get me wrong, it's good calories, but eating a banana versus a donut, I think we all know the banana is better, and the banana is going to fill you up, and you're going to feel full longer, and it's just a win-win all the way around, as opposed to the donut, which the nutrients, you don't have your macronutrients, which I might get into a little bit later into that. And there's like a whole nother video I can do on that. But your donuts doesn't have they don't have the nutrients that your body needs. And so when you put the carbs and the sugars and the seed oils and the highly processed oils, and it's all fried up and we eat it, you're just going to want more. Me personally, I can eat a whole full box. I can eat 12 dozen of donuts and still be hungry. You know why? Because it's full of sugar and it's full of the wrong fats and it's empty calories. You eat it, basically, and you're going to feel empty. You don't feel full. So that's why they call it empty calories, because you're never going to feel full. You're never going to fill up on donuts. Yeah, do they taste good? Yeah, heck yeah. Love me a good donut. But I know if I eat that donut, and I can make another video, but what you'll have to do is pair it with some protein to maybe offset, the release of sugar and all that. But I don't want to get too much into that in this video. I just want to give you all some quick tips. But the best thing to do, especially when you're starting your weight loss journey, is just stay away from the donuts, okay? For now, just stay away from it. Have the banana instead. But again, it gets me back to the calorie counting. You have to count your calories because different foods have different calories and macronutrients, and you're just not going to know until you actually write it down, or better yet, get one of those apps and it can break it down for you. Okay. Um, my next point, I kind of touched on this a little bit already, is your sugar. The American diet, we eat so much sugar. It's insane. Everything has sugar in it. Ketchup. I mean, things you wouldn't even think, things are not even sweet, but they have sugar in it. I never thought ketchup had sugar. And you look at the ingredients, it's got sugar in it. You're like, what the hell? I mean, I'm sorry. What the heck? You know? But we have to watch our sugar. I mean, and it's a no-brainer. We know the candy bars are not good for us. We know the sodas, there's a lot of literature has been put out, about soda drinking. We know how bad that is. I mean, on so many levels. I mean, it messes with your kidneys. It's just not good all the way around. Sodas, all your sugary drinks. I mean, even fruit juices, have sugar. So when you're first starting out, I don't want to say cut the sugar out altogether, but I would say cut down if you can. And if you can, do the keto diet. And that's really hard. A keto diet, you guys can look it up. I don't want to make this video too long, but basically the keto diet is that basically eat protein and little to no carbs, mostly no carbs. It's just mostly protein, which that can be another, I think that's a carnivore diet as well. um, but keto is when you eat a lot of proteins. You can eat low carbs like veggies and things like that. And what it does is you put your body, after a while, your body goes into ketosis and you start burning your own body fat. Um, Again, I can do another video about the keto diet, but I don't want to get too much into it here. But you could do the keto or your low sugar diet. But and I don't just, like I said, I don't just mean, the table sugar, putting it in your food. It's just the things that we eat. You have to look at the label, and you have to look at sugar, if it's got, and how much sugar it has on it. You can also look at the grams on the back of the package. It'll tell you how many grams of sugar. Um, Generally speaking, you really don't want to consume more than 10 grams of sugar per serving. And I mean, and that's just me. And again, everybody's dietary needs are different. But basically, what I'm trying to say is you really need to look at the sugar that you're consuming and cut back if you can. Okay. Um, let's see. And a lot of people, I've seen a lot of people, and they go, oh, I'm on a diet. And, you go out to lunch with a friend or something like that. And you notice that they're eating everything on the menu. I mean, they're ordering everything on the menu, like ordering the cheesecake and the cheeseburgers, and you be like, "Whoa, I thought you were on a diet." And they'll say, "Oh, well, I'm having a cheat day." Hmm. Now, a cheat day, it may work for some of y'all, but it doesn't work for me. Um, I say that because if you have, okay, basically, and this, I'm going to get into this to another point, is when you're trying to lose weight, you have to be in a calorie deficit. So, and I think what is it, 3,500 calories equals 1 pound. And, that's over usually a course of a week. You may see weight gain or you may see weight loss depending on your calorie intake for that week. So, with the 7 days out of a week, and you got 6 days you ate well, or let's say, yeah, so let's say 6 days out of seven you ate well, and then that seventh day you cheated and you ate whatever you wanted, the cake and the ice cream and the cookies and all that good stuff. I personally think it sabotages you, but you can do you, but I just don't think it's a good idea until maybe after you have achieved your weight loss and maybe you're in the maintenance stage. You can do a cheat day, but I think if you're trying to lose weight and you want to be consistent and you want to consistently see those pounds drop, I think cheat day is just not a good idea. But that's my opinion, and I explained to you why I think it just doesn't work. Um, and I already touched on this about eating whole foods, and stay away from the highly processed foods. Because I'm sorry, I'm reading down my list, so I'm sorry if I sound like I'm all over the place. But a lot of these things I've kind of gone into with my explanation earlier, and again, I don't want to make this video into an hour-long video because I can stand up here all day and talk about nutrition and food and dieting. Um, but and also your macros. And I mean, that could be a whole separate video too, but just to touch briefly on it, your macros consist of your fats, your carbs, and your proteins. And those three things kind of work together to keep the body in harmony and to keep everything balanced. And then so if you're off on, if you're getting too much of one thing and not enough of the other, that can also hinder your weight loss. And as I explained earlier, you want to concentrate on your proteins. You want to make sure you're getting your proteins. You want to make sure you're getting your fiber so that you feel fuller longer. Also, fats. A lot of people, if you're eating the good fats, okay, a lot of people say, oh, fat, stay away from it. Yeah, stay away from the bad fat. Stay away from the highly processed fats, your vegetable oils and what is it, canola oils and whatever, all the seed oils. Those are bad fats. Those are poly, don't quote me on this. I think unsaturated fats. Don't get me wrong. I mean, don't quote me on that, but I have to get back with you on that one. But anyway, those are the bad fats. You want to stick with the good fats, such as your avocado fats that are found in avocados, fats that are found in your eggs, like your pasture raised grade eggs, grass fed beef, um, your grass fed dairies, good fats. Good fats are good for you. And they are also, it sounds counterintuitive, but it really does help facilitate your weight loss. So you want to incorporate those things, and you want to keep your macros at optimal levels. Um, and another thing would be intermittent fasting. There's a lot of controversy and a lot of literature has been put out about intermittent fasting. It works for some people, and then for some people it doesn't. I find myself doing it in spurts. Um, I think if you do it, now me personally, I think if you do it for too long, that it can be detrimental to you, and especially for the younger folks, for the young women who have cycles and things like that. It can disrupt your hormones and your cycle. So you really have to be careful when you do intermittent fasting and don't do it too long. I would say for beginners, start out. Um, like you're eating, and basically what it is your eating window is like a shorter period of time. Like you're just not eating and grazing all day long. What you do is, let's say you start off with, say, a 6 hour excuse me, a 6 hour eating window, whereas you let's say you start your morning off, you wake up, let's say, from 8 o'clock until, let's say, 2 or 3 o'clock. You can eat, you can have your meals, but after, let's say, 3 o'clock, you cut your meals off, and then you don't eat again until the next morning at 8 o'clock. That's one example. There's different schedules and different examples of intermittent fasting. It does work, and it does help your body maintain weight because you are controlling the amount of calories that are coming into your body. And you're able to control it a little bit better versus you just eating all day long. Um, so that also could help. And again, I don't want to make it a long video. I don't want to get too far into it, but intermittent fasting can be helpful for some people. Um, Another thing would be to reduce your stress, which is hard. It's hard for me. So I can imagine it's hard for a lot of people. But I thought it was BS. I thought it was bullcrap too, but it's true. if you're always stressed out and you're always in it, which I get that way too. But if we let these jobs stress us out, and we let our families, we let people stress us out, that raises our cortisone levels. And then when your cortisol, I'm sorry, not cortisone, cortisol, when your cortisol levels are raised, that increases your flight or fight response, which increases that type of hormone in your body, which is it counteracts the weight loss. It actually creates a reaction in your gut, and it makes that, like I said, it makes that hormone release in your body. It hinders your weight loss efforts, so it makes it harder for you to lose weight, to put it simply. um the same thing with our sleep. If we're functioning on 2 and 3 hours sleep, that's not doing us any good. I know we all have busy lives, we have jobs, we have things like that, that we have to do. But if we're always running around stressed out, stressed out and not sleeping on top of it, you're not going to lose weight. You're actually going to gain weight. You're going to gain weight, because this happened to me. And if you set aside the time and you put yourself as a priority and you get enough sleep, you'll just see the pounds melt off, because it happened to me. I saw it. And I noticed when I started prioritizing myself and my sleep, and I didn't worry about everything and everybody and stress out, then the pounds just started melting off. So, true story. That will happen. Try it and you will see it's going to make a difference. I'm telling you. And the last point I want to make is, it's kind of like a bonus point, but be patient. I know, it's a new year. We all have high hopes for everything, for our finances. We want to get in better shape. We want to lose weight. We want to have better health, but it's going to take time. Um, we just can't roll out of bed and, oh, okay, it's a new year's January 1. I'm going to lose 10 pounds, and, I'm going to give myself a month. I'm going to lose, not 10. I would say I'm going to lose 20 pounds. I'm going to give myself a month to do it. I mean, you can. Some people can, lose weight that quickly. I'm not one of them. I can't lose weight that fast. But if you do, it's not going to be healthy for you. So if you do it the right way and you follow these tips and you de-stress yourself, you get enough sleep, you will see the pounds melt off. And I guarantee you, you're going to lose a weight. You're going to lose it, but I would do it safely and do it like 1 pound a week to 2 pounds a week. And that way you have a less likelihood of putting it back on, because when you drop it fast, you lose that 20 pounds in, let's say, a month. The likelihood of you putting it back on when you stop the dieting is very high. You have a high probability of putting it back on. So I would say take your time, give yourself grace, and do it the right way the first time, so you won't have to keep going yo-yo dieting and going back and forth and trying different things. Lose the weight, um, you know, stop the dieting, and then you put it back on. You know what I mean? Gain it, lose it, gain it, lose it. We don't want this. We would just want to be slow and steady. Okay. So, and that would give me that, I'm sorry, that thought just went out of my head. But slow and steady wins the race. And we just want to take our time. We just want to take our time. And I know we all want to, we want to achieve those goals, and we want to do it quickly. But just relax and you'll just see those pounds. I guarantee you will see those pounds just melt off. And I would say, stress is kind of like 50. The nutrition is number one, but the stress, I would say, is the second half of the equation. And that stress stuff is no joke. I mean, I can't stress that enough. I thought it was like a load of BS too, but I was like, wow. And I stopped stressing about stuff and I started sleeping better. I did see a big drop. So that's kind of all I wanted to go over. Again, I didn't want to keep you all too long. I didn't want to make this a long video, but I just want to give you some quick tips and things you can do going into the new year. Um, if you happen to, I'm sort of new on this channel. So if you're stopping by for the first time, I really appreciate you looking at this video. I hope it helped you out. I hope you return back and keep returning back and looking at my videos. I would really appreciate it. So I've done enough rambling on. So I hope this was helpful for everybody. I'm going to go ahead and sign off now, and I wish you a very good day. Thank you.